Hey everybody, this week we're talking about fat camps. I'm really excited because I suggested the topic, so I'm going to quickly tell you what I think about it, or try to quickly tell you. To sum up everything, this video in a short synopsis, I support fat camps. I enjoyed my time there. I spent 2 summers there, and it was the best experience of my life. It has a reputation of being camps where you send your children or you send your friends or whatever, you're a grown adult and you go, and people beat you down. You need to lose weight. You're gonna get skinny if it fucking kills you. Blah, 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 blah. Shoving, small portions down your throat, working you like a dog. There's nothing that they address in your personal life. It's all image, nothing they do from the inside out sort of thing, blah, 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 blah. That might have been how they ran fat camps back in the day. I don't know how they did it back then. I know they had a worse reputation then. I remember Megan Tonjes over at PLS, Project Life Size. We went to the same camp, and I think we both had a little, some different experiences there. One thing that I'll say is this. They've changed a bit since those days. They really have changed a bit. I think they get a bad reputation for no reason, really. I don't think there's a problem at all with fat camps. I think there's a problem with the name, and I think there's a problem with their image in general. I went to fat camp for 2 years in a row by choice, and those were the best summers of my life. 2 of the best summers of my life. Now, don't get me wrong, fat camp can go wrong, and there are the bad experiences at fat camp, and I think there's a couple things that really go into having a bad experience at a weight loss camp or a fat camp. Those are the age that you go. I think that, personally, when I was talking to Megan Tonjes, I think that her age, I think she went when she was 12, I really feel like that's too young. I think you should go, unless you have serious health problems as a child, I think you should go between the ages of 14 and 18. Those are the ages I think that they should be allowed to go to camps. That's the age where you're kind of mature, you can make your own decisions for the most part, you can better deal with being away from home for long periods of time. Blah, blah, blah. 2, if it's by choice, if the child is not going by choice, I really don't think you should send them. That really makes a hell of a difference. I chose by choice both summers. 3 is the actual camp you're going to. There are the camps where, they don't really pay attention to their aesthetics, where they really don't represent themselves in a good way, or they're really not the quality camp that you want to go to. There are also the camps that really sugarcoat what they're doing, and it's not weight loss at all. They're not trying to let you lose weight. It's like a fucking paid vacation. If I'm going to go to a weight loss camp, if I'm going to go to a health camp, I want to lose weight. I want to work out. I want to eat healthy. And there are the camps that sort of, skirt under that and really just charge parents $6,000 a pop, $6,000 a summer, and basically pamper their kids. And that's like a regular summer camp. I went to Camp Shane for 2 years. I remember looking it up online, and I told my father that I wanted to go to camp. I wanted to lose weight. I was at the age of 14. I was going on 14 to 15. That's that summer. And I think I was around 200 pounds at that time. That's 200, 210, 205. That's probably the heaviest I've ever weighed. Those were those 2 summers. That's how much I weighed. And I went to this camp. Now, let me just tell ya. I signed up for 3 weeks. The first summer. And I went. And the way it's set up is this. You are given a cabin, and in your cabin you have a couple of girls, maybe 10 other girls, and also in your cabin you have maybe 2 counselors. And the way ours was set up is this. Here was our cabin, connected by a bathroom of showers and toilets to another cabin. So it was about 20 girls in that cabin and a couple of counselors, 4 counselors. And it was interesting, to say the least. The things that I value most from fat camp were this: meeting other young women and young men who were going through the same thing as me. That in and of itself was very, very therapeutic to me. Young people who weren't a size 1. Young people who weren't, who weren't beauty queens in their schools, and who weren't the most popular kids, and who went through weight fluctuations, and who went through teasing and things of that nature. That's one thing that I enjoyed. Just going somewhere and not being judged first offhand. You can't imagine how good that felt to a teenager to go somewhere and not be judged, because no one was judging you because you didn't want to be judged either. And seeing people who looked like me, that was therapeutic in and of itself. I love that. I love that part about it. And my counselors, this is where Camp Shane really did a good job. The counselors genuinely cared. And an inside joke about Camp Shane is that it's a fat camp, but the counselors were the cutest, hottest, prettiest counselors we've ever seen. And that's pretty much true, because I remember we would have at Camp Shane, which is a fat camp, the hottest men counselors and the prettiest girl counselors ever, and it didn't make any sense. I was like, where are these people coming from? Who do want to spend their summer here? Blah, 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 blah. It was like an inside joke. But on top of having, really, cool counselors, like, they actually cared. They were actually there for us. I think that's very important. The support that you put in your camp for these children needs to be on point. And you developed good relationships with these people. You developed close relationships with these counselors. This is who you went to if you had a problem. This is who you cried to when you had to go through something. And the workouts were wonderful. We did aerobics, and we did a lot of sports, and we did swimming, and blah, 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 blah. There was so many things laid on the board for you. A point of complaining each summer for us would be the food. I don't even know how to describe the mindset at camp. It's like you go there, you get your parents to send you there for a couple $1,000, and then you complain the entire time, even though you love it. That's sort of what it's like. They didn't slowly get us into the diet. I don't really think there's anything wrong with the diet, by the way. They put us in. It was not actually, to be completely honest, it wasn't a diet, because we had really good food. Well, it wasn't good, but you know what I mean. We had normal food. They were serving us normal food. It wasn't that good quality, but we would have chicken Caesar wraps, and that's what people like. Lasagna. We would have tacos. It was all about portions, and portions are what really get the kids upset. I remember looking down at my plate a couple of nights and saying, is this a joke? Because this is ridiculous. Like, giving me like a plop of food here. So those were the portions, and I thought they did that in a good way. They did not serve any pop, any sugary drinks. It was water straight through, which I definitely agree with, because I have an addiction to pop that I cannot fight right now. And I remember when I came home from camp one summer, and I just didn't drink pop for a couple months after that. It was just strictly water. So that's how they did the portions. It was just small portions, blah, blah, blah. And then one thing that I think they lacked on was like therapy. Like, they did have group talks. We had group talks with a therapist. I don't think it was a therapist. It was just a counselor who would address issues of body image. I feel like they did it in other ways, because we would have dances where we would have evening activities where the girls and the boys would get dressed up and we would go dance. I think they did it in other ways like that, like doing school dances, doing campus dances, having activities, having counselors who, I don't know how they did it, but it made me feel better about myself. It wasn't something that actively like, oh my God, you are beautiful, or talking to a therapist, or, challenging the views I had, or challenging the beliefs I had on my body image and on my image. It was in a more subtle way, like going to a camp where no one was judging you, going to a camp where your counselors supported you, didn't call you ugly, called you beautiful, going to a camp where the people were around you, we were all the same, going to a camp where you could dress up for a dance and not be, not feel embarrassed around your size one friend in her nice little dress. That camp was a wonderful experience. Hell, I went back a second summer for 6 weeks that time. I was there for the majority of my summer, and it was the best experience of my life. I've met a couple of best friends, people who I will be friends with for the rest of my life. This is getting really long, but I just wanted to come and tell you about my experience.